He raised her from 11 years old, and then he planned her death for 600,000 funeral policy money. She was mentally disturbed. She trusted him, and he had her pupilled 15 times. Yeah, 15 times. I almost forgot. I said 16. 15 times while she slept. This is the story of uNosipho Mafana. Without wasting any time, let us get into it. The Western Cape High Court in Knysna handed down life sentences to men responsible for uNosipho Mafana's brutal murder. Yeah, I love that. I love that they got life sentences. And Umboneneli Msila, her adoptive father, and Umonde Chemase, the hitman, were sentenced to double life for conspiracy and premeditated murder. Double life. I love that. This is what we want to hear. We are tired of people who are just getting away with murder. Yeah, double life it is. I love that. So Ujek and Lucas, these are the accomplices, will serve 17 years each. The court was crystal clear. This was a cold-blooded, orchestrated murder for funeral policy payouts. Hey, because I don't know what are we going to do with this funeral policy payouts. And if you can, please check yourself. The last time I heard that you can check yourself by putting your ID and seeing where you are listed, because hey, we are not safe. We are truly not safe. So, who is Nosipho Mafana? Nosipho Mafana was 23 years old. She was severely mentally disturbed and fully dependent on the people around her, especially her adopted family. She had been in Msila's care since she was just 11 years old. So you can count from 11 to 25 years old, you can count. He was supposed to protect her. Instead, he exploited her vulnerability for profit. Now, I'm asking myself, Guti Umsila, this man who adopted this child, when did he start thinking about the policy? I'm not sure. Why did he adopt this child from 11 years old, and when she's 23, this happens to her? Let us get into it and see what happened. The blood money scheme. Umsila coached uNosipho. Remember, uNosipho is severely mentally disturbed. Ne? Umsila coached uNosipho into opening 3 funeral policies with payouts totaling 600,000. I'm asking myself, how was she coached? What did she say? Did the funeral policy people check if she was mentally capable or able to do this herself? I don't know. Policies were with Standard Bank, FNB, and Capitec, all tailored to cash in double in the case of unnatural death. So if it's unnatural death, you get double. Ne? He made sure his wife, sister-in-law, and himself were listed as beneficiaries. He thought this was a smart move, and actually maybe it was, if he wasn't found guilty or if no one saw what had happened. So let us talk about how the hit went down. Umsila, now this is the adoptive father, don't forget that. Umsila asked his nephew for a gun, lied about being for livestock. So I'm thinking he went to the nephew and said, I'm looking for a gun because I want to protect myself. There are people who are stealing my livestock. And the nephew gave him the gun. And then he offered a neighbor 40,000 to carry out the killing. The neighbor refused but never reported it. Guys, we need to start reporting these type of things, because we can prevent a lot of heartache and prevent people from losing their lives. He didn't report this. Eventually, he hired Ujek Chimase and Lucas. Ujek Chimase, you must remember, is the hitman. Ne? So on April 30, 2022, they entered the house while uNosipho slept in the lounge with 2 others. She was pupilled 15 times. The other 2 girls and Umsila were untouched. So in the house, it means there was uNosipho, who was sleeping in the middle, and the 2 other girls were sleeping on the sides, and Umsila was there. So now this child, this 23-year-old, is pew-pewed 15 times, but nothing happens to these girls. So let us talk about how this was found out, how they found out about this murder. The mistake that blew the case open was, there's a tin collector, I don't know whether it's a she or a he, who saw everything. And she did not, or he did not only see, but he recognized the 3 men. And she saw, or he saw, the gun flashes. So this tin collector took the police officers to Chimesa's house and identified Jack and Lucas in photo lineups. So now the photos were put there. They said, okay, tin collector, you saw everything. Please, here's the lineup. These are the photos. Who did you see? And she pointed out the people that she recognized and saw on that night. So the aftermath, Standard Bank rejected Umsila's claim. We don't know why. And FNB paid out to his sister-in-law, and Capitec paid out to his wife. Unosipho's life was traded for 400,000 rand. Now, look, this is what he did. Remember, he took from FNB, Capitec, and Standard Bank. And he made sure in all 3 that he's not the only beneficiary. He listed himself, he listed the wife, and the sister-in-law. So Standard Bank, FNB gave to the sister-in-law, and Capitec paid out to the wife, and not him. So let us talk about this. Remember, this happened April 2022, ne? And then why did nobody protect Unosipho? The neighbor could have said something, but he didn't. We don't know what were the reasons. And he probably said something when it was already too late. And why did the neighbor stay silent? How many vulnerable girls are living with predators right now, masked as caregivers? You know, I don't know, because I was asking myself something. Where is Nosipho's mother? But apparently the mother was also severely mentally disturbed, and she gave birth to this child. So Umsila came as if it's someone who's coming to rescue the child when the child was 11 years old, took care of the child and adopted the child with the wife. So now I'm asking myself, was the wife also involved in this? Did the sister-in-law also know, or only Umsila is the one who knew about this? But we didn't hear their names as part of the accused, so I'm thinking that they didn't know. So here's a call to action. Her name was Unosipho Mafana. The fact that she was mentally challenged doesn't make it less painful. It doesn't make it less that we shouldn't pay attention to it. It matters. We must say her name, we must share her story, and demand stronger checks for funeral policy fraud, because this was preventable, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, keep on subscribing, liking. If you like what we do here at Courtroom Chronicles, keep on sharing the story. And yeah, let us say the names of these people. They mattered. Their families are mourning. And I'm just asking myself if Umama Kanosipho Mafana knows what has happened to her child. Because I'm also thinking, if she's also severely mentally disturbed, someone took advantage of that woman and she gave birth to Unosipho Mafana and couldn't take care of her. And somebody had to come who masked themselves as a caregiver, and they had ulterior motives. With that being said, until the next one, God bless.